Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Meridian Health, taking care of New Jersey, Caldwell University, Investors Bank, PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities, United Water, making the planet sustainable is the best job on Earth, MagnaCare, and by the Russell Berry Foundation.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Welcome to a very special edition of One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. In this next half hour, my colleague Joanna Gagas takes us to the New Jersey Sharing Network's 5K event to bring us interviews with dozens of organ transplant recipients, donors, and family members who have given the ultimate gift, the gift of life.
I'm Joanna Gagas, coming to you today from the New Jersey Sharing Network's 5K Walk. This is an incredibly powerful event because every person here today has been touched personally by organ donation, one way or the other. We're going to bring you some very powerful stories from the recipients and the donor families, and of course volunteers who are here helping share the word of the New Jersey Sharing Network. Next on Life and Living. I'm here with Joe Roth, who is the president and CEO of the New Jersey Sharing Network. Joe, we're here at the annual 5K Walk, but before we talk about the walk and how significant it is, first tell us about the New Jersey Sharing Network and what it means to families in New Jersey.
Well, the New Jersey Sharing Network is the organization that helps recover organs for transplant. We not only recover the organs and provide them to the transplant centers, we provide support to the families who are both waiting and to families who have donated. So the event today is there to recognize people who have given the ultimate gift of life and people who are waiting, and then also recognize those who have received and benefited from those gifts.
How many people in New Jersey right now are waiting for an organ?
Well, there are almost 5,000 people in New Jersey who are waiting on transplant lists, either in centers in New Jersey or centers surrounding New Jersey.
And what is that average wait time?
Well, for kidneys, it can be very long. For a deceased kidney, it could be upwards of 5 or 6 years, depending on your blood type. There are living donation programs that are now gaining a lot of popularity and are very successful, and those programs help those people who might have to wait a long time get a kidney from a living donor.
Why is it so important that there are organizations like the New Jersey Sharing Network spreading information about organ donation?
Over 31 people die every day waiting for a transplant, and that's too many people to die. And there are diseases that cause end-stage organ failure, and the only treatment for it is a transplant. And that's what we do, and that's what our mission is to save and enhance lives through organ transplantation.
You know, today we're going to be talking to some of the families who have received and also some of the families who lost a family member. There has to be something very bittersweet about seeing these families come together. For you, how do you kind of make sense of the joy and the pain that comes with each saved life?
Well, yes, tragedy has to occur to some families with someone dying in a way that they can become an organ donor. And somebody receives an organ, and we do work with families because it helps them bring closure to the tragedy that they just had. Early on, they're obviously distraught at their loss, but over time we begin to hear from them that we're so happy we agreed to this, we did this, it helped somebody's life. We feel that their loss was not in vain, and so that's the good part about it, and that's how we work with families to get that done.
Well, what are some of the joys you've seen here today? What are some of the things that impress you the most as you see the thousands and thousands of people gather together?
It just moves me to tears sometimes. I mean, it's so amazing. When you come to an event like this and I see the fruition of everything that we've done just sitting there in that parking lot and all these people on the street, I go home and I'm like the greatest thing in the world. I mean, this is what we do. This is what I devoted my last 16 years to, and I'm ecstatic about it. It's just wonderful.
The team names are great. That's one of the fun things about today is walking around and seeing the team names. But it really is such a powerful day. And where do you hope this organization goes, and how do you hope it grows in the years to come?
Well, I hope we grow to the point where we can provide enough organs for transplant that no one dies while they're waiting on the list. And that's our ultimate goal. And so we continue with events like this and other public education events to get people aware of the need out there. if people sign up to be organ donors, it doesn't necessarily mean they will die in a certain way and become a donor. It just means that if, God forbid, something tragic happens to them, then their wishes are known, and it makes it easier on their family when the time comes to consent for donation. And I think less than 1/10 of 1% of the people who sign up on a donation registry ever become organ donors. It just doesn't happen that way. But more people say they don't know what their loved ones' wishes are, so they don't know whether to say yes or no, and the default more often goes to no. And this way, if people make their wishes known, that'll become, more people will be available, and will make our job a little bit easier.
This is Denise Peoples, and this is Team Breathing Easy. Guys, you have to pick up the energy. This is weak. Denise, you are breathing easy because
I had a double lung transplant in 2006.
How did that change your life?
It changed it amazingly. After being kind of not myself for 7 years, to finally be able to breathe on my own, it was amazing, amazing.
To who do you owe this gift of life?
I have not met my donor family yet, but I think about them all the time. And I definitely think about my donor because it's double lungs. I do know it was a young person, so my lungs are very young, and so is the rest of me, but I'm just saying.
Your group is gathered here. I know you're the team captain. Why do you feel it's important to come to the 5K, to give back, to spread the word about the New Jersey Sharing Network?
Because I found out personally that the gift of life is the best gift ever. I come back because I totally stand behind the New Jersey Sharing Network. I'm also a volunteer for the Sharing Network, and I see what the stories of us volunteers do to people like emergency room doctors and nurses, trauma centers, who never get to see us. They get to see a person saying goodbye to life. They never get to see the ones that's saying hello to life. And that is why I do what I do. That's why my team does it, because they see me and they know that it really works, and they all better be organ donors. But we all, that's why I do it, because it is such a worthy cause.
I'm here with Pat Bon Jovi, who is a member here with the New Jersey Sharing Network, and tell us why you're walking today.
All right, back in 2012, my daughter was in a very serious motorcycle accident. Unfortunately, she passed away. The summer before she passed away, she had made her intentions known to me, which is really strange, but I have known she wanted to be an organ donor, but she had told me everything. It's almost like she had this gut feeling something was going to go wrong. So we made the decision to follow her wishes.
Angela had made the decision to donate. Whose lives did she impact through that decision?
Oh my goodness, that was like the greatest thing. Offhand, I know her heart went to a woman, I believe in the Camden area. She donated both lungs, her liver, both kidneys, everything, her tissues, any organs, everything. The only part of my daughter, unfortunately, that wasn't available was she died of traumatic brain injuries. So I would say everything. I can tell you one of the highlights was right around Christmas. We received the most beautiful letter from the heart recipient. It kind of made our whole holiday. I have not had a chance or found the words to write back to her, but just knowing that somebody is out there, knowing my daughter's heart is still beating, gives me a presence that maybe she's really not totally gone. It's a comfort. It's a comfort.
I'm here with Jim Radican, who is a volunteer with the New Jersey Sharing Network, and there is a reason why you're so involved in this organization. It's very personal for you. Explain it.
About 5.5 years ago, I received a liver transplant, and I wouldn't be here today without the generosity of the donor family. And I've been volunteering as a speaker for the High School Heroes program, and I talk about what my donor family they have given me. The Sharing Network has a saying that organ donation is a gift of life. I change it around and say it's a gift of love, because my donor family and every donor family has loved their fellow human beings so much, without ever knowing them possibly, to saving their life. And some of the things that they have given me since my surgery, I've had 4 granddaughters born who would never have felt my arms around them, would never have heard me read to them, never have held my hand. And I have 4 other grandchildren who I'd be just a fading memory. I'd be just a picture in a scrapbook. But now I'd like to be what I call a 3-dimensional grandfather, someone who's there for them, bring them presents, go to games, watch them play baseball and soccer, and just they have given me another chance of living and being a member of a family, to love and be loved, and it's very emotional.
I'm here with Elise Glennon, who is the executive director of the New Jersey Sharing Network Foundation, the charitable arm of the New Jersey Sharing Network. Tell me about your role as executive director of the foundation.
My role is about community outreach, bringing the community together, all of the different people who are part of organ and tissue donation and making that happen for so many people. We work with donor families, recipients, the hospital partners, the tissue partners, and general community advocates who just want to come together and celebrate life in a very big way.
How informed do you think most people are in New Jersey about organ donation?
In New Jersey, we have a very diverse community. Some people are very informed, and some people still are looking to learn a lot more. We were very lucky that a few years ago, the state passed a law that requires organ and tissue donation in all of our public high schools. So our children are starting to learn about the power of organ donation early on in life, and really that dispels the myths for them and misconceptions as they learn in the younger years.
What are some of the misconceptions surrounding organ donation?
Many people feel their religion doesn't support organ donation, and that's from some old things they might remember about early on in the years of their religion. But the truth is that all religions support organ donation.
Okay. And there are also some myths that people think that they may not receive the best care if they're listed as an organ donor. Is there any truth to that?
There's no truth to that at all. The medical team that is taking care of you to save your life is a completely different medical team than the organ procurement team. And the only time the New Jersey Sharing Network is called in is at the end of life when there is no other hope. And our staff provides the opportunity for a family to have their loved one's life live on.
What do you see from the families who make that decision, and it may be a difficult one for them, and then they're able to see the person who received the organ?
Our donor families are the heart of our organization, and they're beautifully giving people. And that darkest moment of their lives when they choose to save someone else's life, that gift keeps giving. They don't just walk away at that moment. They re-engage with us. Many want to meet the recipients of their loved one's gift, and they continue to give. They volunteer for us. They come back to events like this today to continue to promote organ donation. And they don't want anyone else's life to be lost because of needing to wait on the transplant waiting list.
We see people coming in. The walk is finishing up. This is a huge event. So many people came out today. How has the event grown in the last 4 years since it started?
Well, we started in 2011 with just over 2,000 people, raising $450,000. It was a great start, but today we have more than tripled the number of people on site, and we're raising over $750,000 today. In just 4 years, this event alone has raised $2.5 million. We have 270 teams here today. 44 of them have been here since the beginning.
That's pretty amazing. Where does that money go?
Our foundation dollars, the philanthropic dollars, go to support public education programs, research on organ and tissue donation. We do have a research lab right inside the walls of the Sharing Network, clinical support, and donor family support.
How great is it for you to see this organization touching the lives of so many people in New Jersey?
I have the best job. Everybody in our organization is so passionate about what we do. We really work hard for our families, both on the donor side and the recipient side, and it's just so great to see it all come together in a day like today.
I'm here with Team Max's Mitzvah Movers. This is Sam. Sam is our heart recipient.
Yes, I am. Well, when I was born, I got a boo-boo in my heart. They tried to fix me, but they couldn't. But when I was 7, I ran a list for the heart, and then on March 13th, I got the call. I went to the hospital. Next day, I got a heart. Basically, you walk into the hospital, you have a boo-boo, you get a new heart. You walk in with an old heart, you walk out with a new heart.
I don't think anyone could have said that any better than Sam just did. Sam, you kind of made that seem like a simple story, but Mom, I know that was not a simple story for you.
No, it wasn't. As Sam said, he was born with a really bad heart. He had a lot of major congenital defects. And we came to the point where we had to make a decision to put him on a life-saving transplant list, and it was the best decision we ever made in our lives. He has given himself and our family a new lease on life.
And Max, you are the one who created the team that's walking here today as part of the New Jersey Sharing Network's 5K walk. Why did you decide that you needed to get your family together and organize a team?
Well, actually, 2 years ago, I had my bar mitzvah. I decided for my mitzvah project to create this team for Sam and others so they can get the same gift of life that Sam had and a new lease on life like Sam did.
How much did it change your life when your brother received that life-saving heart?
It changed everything. We can do so much more together, and not only for both of us, for him also.
How do you feel now with this new heart? How different is your life?
I feel strong now. I don't feel weak. I feel like you get like a whole new life with this new heart. It's really amazing. That's strong. You're now strong. You're like now you can do stuff you couldn't. Now you don't like get out of breath that's as soon as you did before.
Mom, knowing that Sam's life is the benefit of someone else's charity and someone else's decision to give their organs, what does that mean to you?
It is a feeling that is completely undescribable. His donor family made a selfless decision to save someone else's life. And we're also here today to honor Sam's donor and their family and what they've given us, and every other donor and donor family that's here today. So it's really a beautiful thing.
I'm here with J.D. DeLeon, who is celebrating life here today at the 5K walk. Tell me your story.
Well, I received a live kidney donation from a colleague of my wife, Ken Wegner, from PNC Bank.
Were you close friends with Ken when he gave you his kidney?
Not at the time, but we're now brothers with a different mom.
Brothers from another mother. So, did it surprise you when he made the decision to go undergo surgery and give you his kidney?
It most definitely did. In fact, he didn't even tell us that he was going to do it. He just showed up at St. Barnabas, had himself checked out, and I received a call from Eleanor, the nurse there, telling me she had a kidney for me. And that's how I found out. In fact, Eleanor is here today.
Wow, so he actually did one of the most selfless things he could do without any need for recognition, did not tell you in advance, just went in. How different is your life now? Explain the difference between the life you're living now and the life you lived while you were waiting for that transplant.
Well, I was on dialysis for 4 years. I was heading to the hospital 3 times a week, 5 o'clock in the morning, and by the time the 4th year came along, I was doing practically 4 to 5 hours on dialysis. So my life has changed tremendously. I was attached to a dialysis machine that was functioning as my kidney, and I couldn't go anywhere. I needed that kidney. But now, next month, I'll be in the Republic of Panama.
With 10 kids, being able to live your life, to be free, to be able to travel and be out and about here at the 5K walk, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means everything to me. In fact, most of my children will be running today and saying thank you for what a donation of kidney did for me.
I'm here with Frank D'Amelio, who's the Chief Financial Officer at Pfizer. Now, Pfizer is the presenting sponsor of the 5K race, and that is attributed to whom?
Well, actually, it's attributed to the company, but I've had the pleasure of being the representative for the company during these 4 years.
How did you, Pfizer, and the New Jersey Sharing Network create this partnership?
So the New Jersey Sharing Network is very personal for me. We lost a dear friend, Joe Diadio, 5 years ago, suddenly, unexpectedly. But in his last hours, he donated his organs, and that's improved and enhanced the lives of over 70 people to date. So although he's gone, he lives through those people. And you know, if you think about what we do for a living at Pfizer, we try to have people live longer, healthier lives. So it's very consistent with our mission as a company.
There's a lot of synergy there. For you personally, what did it mean when you saw your good friend make that decision to save other lives?
Well, it didn't surprise me at all. If you knew Joe, Joe was a world-class guy, and so him giving is what he did his whole life. He was always a giver, and then once again, I think it syncs up great with our company because we like to think of ourselves as a giving company too, and always trying to give back to society.
In the 4 years that you and Pfizer have been presenting this race and have been a part of the New Jersey Sharing Network, what have you seen in terms of the impact that this organization makes?
If you look at the event, it's incredible. Today there'll be over 10,000 people here. There's over 2,000 people that are racing. So it's become almost contagious in a positive way in terms of the impact that it's had on the community. And I think most importantly, the impact it's having on people's lives who need organs.
I'm here with Iris and Ezekiel Garcia, and today they are honoring their son, Reynaldo. Tell us about Reynaldo and who he was.
Reynaldo was a 29-year-old son. He was a teacher at Science Park High School. He was a wonderful kid. He was the son that any parent would like to have.
That day when you received word that something had happened and there had been a motorcycle accident, how did you decide, and when was the decision made that his organs would be donated to give life to others?
I made the decision when they called me. The people who were at Claremont Hospital, they told me about donation, tissue and organ donation, and we decided at that moment.
Why was this the right decision for you and for Reynaldo?
Well, we always knew about organ donation. Even though he was not a donor, he doesn't have it in the license, he had told some of his brothers that he would like to be a donor if something happened to him. So the decision wasn't that difficult to make at that moment.
How does this impact the way that you have grieved and you've mourned over Reynaldo, being a part of the New Jersey Sharing Network and knowing that his organs were given to someone else?
For me, it makes it easier. Because you know that he keeps living in the body of someone else.
Have you had the opportunity to meet any of the recipients of Reynaldo's organs?
No, not yet. We know for a fact that somebody received one of his corneas, and we're in the process of meeting the person, but we haven't get to that point yet.
Why are you out here today celebrating at this 5K walk?
His life, just that's his life. Was a full life, beautiful life for him, and that's what we are celebrating.
I'm here with Miriam and David Beauchamp. What brings you out here to the walk today?
Well, what brings us to the walk is in honor of Jose Padilla. He's the donor that gave my husband a second chance. And also to walk on behalf of those that are waiting, those that have given, and those that have received, just like my husband. You know, you speak and you give hope to others because waiting is the most difficult part.
David, you received a liver from Jose Padilla. What was your life like while you were waiting for that liver?
It was really bad. I was always in pain, always tired, you know, just pretty much waiting to pass away. Always crying, you know.
How did you first get on the waiting list and how did you find out that there was a donor for you?
We actually started searching. We went and started looking at different places. We started listing, and it wasn't good. I went to Mount Sinai, we went to Florida, and then ended up in Jersey. My wife started researching. She's the Erin Brockovich, and she fought the insurance company, and we found the new University Hospital in Newark, and then after the screening, I was put on the list.
Tell us about Jose Padilla, who you're honoring here today with your T-shirt. Let's see the T-shirt in honor of Jose Padilla, who did give his liver for David.
Well, we didn't know him very well, of course, because he donated. But I met Miriam, I think this is maybe about 3 years ago. Sharing Network made it possible.
Miriam is his wife.
Yes. And it's funny because we both got the same name. It was very emotional because I didn't know what to say to her.
It's hard. He loved to fish. You love to fish. Is there something about that? Do you feel in some way that you're carrying his legacy on?
I do. There's definitely a connection. We can never sit still. We like to fish, gardening, family men. That's a big connection. We are so much alike, even the same name for a wife.
That's something. You know, is this bittersweet in a way for you because there's joy, but at the same time there's some pain?
Yes, it is. You know, it's a blessing because God provided a miracle for someone else to donate an organ that's going to save my husband's life. However, on the flip side, you think about Miriam is very hard for her because she was 38 years married and she lost a spouse. So yes, you're happy in one sense because your spouse is here, but you're saddened because another family has lost a loved one. So yes, it's bittersweet.
And today, what are you doing?
Well, today is our 18th wedding anniversary, and what a better place to celebrate it amongst people that, you know, feel for the same cause that we have. It's 18 years, you know, and it's something that I didn't think we were going to be here because what my husband went through, but it's a beautiful sunny day that the Lord has given us, and whatever better way to, you know, celebrate it.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and NJTV. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Meridian Health, Caldwell University, Investors Bank, PSE&G, United Water, MagnaCare, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger, powering NJ.com, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Funding has been made possible in part by New Jersey Sharing Network.
Hi, I'm Peter Rooney. In 2006, I lost my father to renal disease. He was on the waiting list for a new kidney, but did not receive one in time. Unfortunately, so many like my father have lost their lives while waiting for a life-saving organ. At New Jersey Sharing Network, we're committed to saving and enhancing people's lives through organ and tissue donation and by informing people about this important decision. Because you can make a difference and save a life.